Chapter 13, Intermediate Purification, the strongest buff on the shelves. Mike knew about meat. They were all either poisonous or had other side effects. Using basic purification, it was very difficult to remove the poison from the exotic beast, so Mike didn't care for it. Now that he had reached intermediate purification, it was possible to create something new. Mike used his staff to kill a relatively low-level exotic beast. After using the fireball spell, there weren't any bones left. The meat had very few uses, so it was not considered a type of material. It was not stored and obtained like a material. It needed to be collected manually. Exotic beast meat, intermediate. This piece of meat contains lethal poison. Even if it is cooked or burnt, it is still inedible. It can easily poison life forms to death. Consumption effect, 500 lethal poison. Immediately recovers 20 energy. Gradually recovers 50 energy within 3 hours. Recovers 100 HP, temporarily increases 50 HP, temporarily increases 10 points of defense, and temporarily increases agility by 2 points. Duration, 3 hours. The meat of the exotic beast could be said to be very nutritious. However, the poisonous effect was stronger. Mike was looking forward to using the intermediate purification spell. The beginner purification spell could not remove the poison from the meat of the exotic beast. He wanted to try the intermediate effect, and Mike was baffled by the results. Intermediate purification spell, successfully used. Exotic beast meat, intermediate purification successful. Consumption effect, immediately recovers 50 energy. Gradually recovers 100 energy within 3 hours. Temporarily increases energy limit by 10 points. Recovers 500 HP. Temporarily increases maximum HP by 150 points. Temporarily increases elemental attack by 60 points. Temporarily increases maximum defense by 50 points. Temporarily increases agility by 10 points. Duration, 8 hours. Energy recovery rate had increased. Eating a piece of exotic beast meat would immediately recover half of his HP and gain immunity for 3 hours. Mike's focus was on temporarily increasing his energy limit by 10 points. That was equivalent to increasing all of his attributes by 10%. Moreover, Mike's energy was not at 100 points, but 105 points. The benefits of temporarily increasing his attributes by 10% would be even greater. In addition to the increase of his own attributes, there were still other benefits. The 60 dual attribute attacks were also equivalent to increasing Mike's attack by about 10%. The purified intermediate exotic beast meat was definitely worthy of being called a treasure. Mike believed that trading colorless crystals with this thing wouldn't be difficult. Mike opened the trade market. He was preparing to sell it when he was overwhelmed by the news from the trade market, private messages from the trade market, the world channel, the regional channel, and all the other channels. The world channel. We must work hard, we must persevere. Sooner or later, we will figure out the recipe of the black-striped grass, so that Mike will never be able to make money again. The black-striped grass is worthless, but it can be sold for such a high price after processing it. This is too much. I must crack the recipe of the black-striped grass. I'll drag Mike down with my own hands. Make him spit out whatever he has swallowed. I've tried it out 3 times. Believe me, the recipe will definitely be cracked. The ingredients have been found. I don't believe that the black-striped grass formula is that far off. There was a private message. Mike, what exactly is the black-striped grass recipe? Share it with me. I'll produce and sell it together with you. When the time comes, we'll split it 37 to 37. Hey, are you there? Why are you pretending? Isn't it just good luck to come up with a recipe? Do you really think you're a pro? Mike was stunned when he saw this private message. At first, he had been quite nice when he begged Mike. When he realized that his request was fruitless, Mike ignored him, and this person instantly turned rude, criticizing Mike more than a dozen times. It was all too fake. Why were people nowadays so fake? There was another private message. I'll give you some advice, you must listen to it. I'm the best at analyzing others and I know your situation all too well. Because I was lucky, I found the recipe for black-striped grass. Now that they exposed the product to being a black-striped grass, the recipe for it will follow soon after. If you wait for the recipe to go public, your value would be gone. Why not share the recipe now? You will still be able to maintain a good reputation. You'd better seriously consider, do not be ungrateful. There were a lot of these kinds of private messages. Mike was speechless. He was taken aback by their various logics and attitudes. He could not understand what these people were thinking at all. After turning off all the message interfaces, Mike uploaded the purified meat onto the shelf. Of course, he would not tell them the actual details of the meat. Just like the black-striped grass, he would make up a name. Raw meat. There is no need to cook it and it can be eaten directly. Cooking will make it taste better. Effect: immediately recovers 50 energy. Gradually recovers 100 energy within 3 hours. Temporarily increases the energy limit by 10 points. Recovers. Mike released the hidden information that he had learned. Of course, it was only on the effect of the meat. Although releasing this information would arouse suspicion, he was careful not to release information that was too outrageous, making people think that Mike's research ability was very strong. Price: trade for 1 colorless crystal. Trade: 30 iron ore. Trade: 30 copper ore. Trade: 300 wood. These 4 items were currently up for trading. The items above were all very versatile and durable even in the later stages. It was believed that wood, iron ore, and copper ore would be needed, especially colorless crystals. They were necessary to keep for use in the later stages. As whether the price was expensive or cheap, Mike felt it was neither. If it was regarded expensive, this kind of raw meat was currently only something that Mike could create. Other people would not be able to get it even if they paid 10 million. No matter the amount of money they had, they would not even be able to spend it on this. If it was regarded cheap. Actually, it wasn't cheap. Many people might not be able to reach the transaction requirements for a few days. Mike didn't want to cut off everyone's labor. The current pricing was to help other players develop their strength while allowing Mike to save up his resources so he felt that he wasn't at a disadvantage. The temporary increase in attributes from eating this piece of raw meat could ensure that even if the players were at level 0, they could start hunting exotic beasts below level 10 after consumption. This could be considered as a helping hand for them to explore. As for why Mike was helping them develop their strength to explore, it was because if more players were exploring, the more colorless crystals would drop immensely. Colorless crystals were eternally valuable. Therefore Mike, who was looking at the bigger picture, didn't mind helping them increase their strength and helping them explore. Hurry up and strengthen. Mike wanted the colorless crystals badly. Once raw meat was on the shelves, within a few seconds, the number of views reached 102,354. Just like that, it broke through 100,000. In all the channels, there was a huge earthquake. In the World Channel. Damn. Hurry up and look at the trade market. Mike has a new product on the shelves. Raw meat. Meat? The most ridiculous thing is the description of the effect of that meat. What the hell? Isn't meat poisonous and inedible? Besides, energy bodies don't need to eat meat, right? What effect does it have? Didn't he get the formula to remove the poison from the black-striped grass by luck? How could he have the ability to develop a new product? It must be a lie, right? Hurry up and look at the effect. I'm shocked too. Not long after. Duck? All the channels exploded. They were all in a state of shock. I thought that the new product would only have more energy recovery, but I didn't expect the description to be so terrifying that temporary increase in attributes means I can start exploring. This is too unbelievable, it can't be a lie, right? The attributes can be increased so much. What is a colorless crystal? Does anybody know anything about it? I'm not sure. I've never heard of it. This is too much. Could he be a boss? I'm saluting Boss Mike. Even a piece of meat that has been labeled as poisonous and useless from the very beginning can be used to create miracles. Chapter 14, Trudeau, blocked and can't buy anymore. How did Mike do it? He didn't respawn, so how did he discover 2 recipes in a row? Plus it's a meat recipe. Could it be that he has an immortal body, so he can randomly try stuff and make mistakes? Modern Dationing 1. That's amazing. I'm on my knees. The World Channel was discussing Mike's new product. Raw meat. The shock was expressed in words. On Trudeau's side, they continued to hunt exotic beasts to level up and maintained their focus on the World Channel and the trade market. After being blocked from trading and forced to return all the profits, they hated Mike very much and couldn't wait to see him go bankrupt. Although Mike hadn't offended them, the fact that Mike was the only one that could make money from the black-striped grass was already a huge offense to them. As long as the recipe was discovered, Mike would definitely go bankrupt. However, Trudeau and the others had waited not to hear the news of Mike going bankrupt, but instead for a new round of shock. Raw meat. Mike has a new product on the shelves. Someone on Trudeau's side saw the latest news from the World Channel. His surprised voice was heard by others, including Trudeau. What? Trudeau, who hated Mike the most, heard that Mike seemed to be getting better and better. He gritted his teeth and looked over with a murderous expression. Mike has a new product. What new product? What effect does it have? Trudeau asked through gritted teeth. It's called raw meat. I don't know the effect yet. I'll go to the trade market and take a look, they replied. Trade market? Yes. It was already on the shelves. Trudeau immediately pulled up the trade market interface and searched for Mike to see the items on his shelf. Originally, there were only special materials, but now there was a new product on the shelves. He clicked to see the detailed introduction. Raw meat. Effect. When he saw the first line of the effect, Trudeau gritted his teeth while his eyes widened. The more he read, the more shocked Trudeau was. His eyes turned bloodshot. He had seen all of the effects of the item, but what did this mean? If the description was true, that means that Mike was not only far from bankruptcy, he was thriving. Compared to this raw meat, even if the black-striped grass were to lose its value immediately, Mike would not go bankrupt. Instead, he would be rich. On top of that, the recipe for black-striped grass had not been discovered. Duck? Is this effect real or fake? The temporary increase in attributes is even higher than my total attributes. Won't eating one piece of it make you invincible? Someone beside Trudeau exclaimed. This voice instantly made Trudeau furious. This person beside him actually had the audacity to suggest supporting Mike. Despite that, Trudeau was planning to buy them, and lots at that. After all, it would have to take an idiot not to buy such a powerful item. Even if he bought them, he was not allowed to mention that. You shut up. Trudeau rebuked angrily. Everyone did not dare to speak anymore as Trudeau was the leader, so he held authority. "Buy one to test the effect and see if it's real," Trudeau said in a deep voice. The person next to him clicked on the item to buy. Huh. This person was immediately stunned and said, "It notified me saying that the purchase failed. I clearly have 30 pieces of iron ore. You failed to buy it." Trudeau was irritated. Trudeau tried buying it himself and was also notified that the purchase failed. Everyone in the party indicated that they failed to buy it. "We were blacklisted by Mike." Trudeau found out the reason. Duck. The entire party immediately fell into chaos. Such a good item like this raw meat could be bought to speed up exploration and level advancement. If they couldn't buy it, they would definitely lag behind by a large margin. They had an entire party and none of them could buy even one. Why? Why did he blacklist us? That bastard. Trudeau was going crazy. Maybe it's because we're competing with him and we're discrediting him, spreading rumors about him, and attacking him, someone muttered. Trudeau was furious and gave this person a scolding. Then he trembled in rage. This Mike is petty. Aren't we just competing with him and scolding him a little? Is there a need to blacklist us? He's so narrow-minded. One look and you can tell that his future isn't promising. He has a terrible character. Trudeau cursed. The others followed suit and spat hate towards Mike. He had actually blacklisted them and would not sell them anything. Clearly, they were his target. Too despicable. Shameless. Isn't anyone going to teach this bastard Mike a lesson? Blacklisting us after scolding him a little. He can't take any criticism. What kind of behavior is that? This person was so envious because he couldn't buy the meat. He was so anxious that he was scratching his ears and cheeks. In this moment of desperation, they could only go to the various channels to continue slandering Mike. Maybe the raw meat wasn't as good as the description. Maybe it was just a lie. If they could directly get raw meat blacklisted, that would be the best. Many voices slandering Mike and his raw meat emerged on the World Channel. Is there no one who doubts the validity of the raw meat description? How can you believe such a ridiculous improvement? Do you think Mike really developed such a powerful thing? Exactly. His previous position was based on luck that he discovered the recipe for removing the poison from the black-striped grass. Could it be that he also relied on luck to develop such a good piece of raw meat? Where does his luck come from? Is he the son of Lady Luck? I think Mike probably knew that the recipe for the black-striped grass would be discovered sooner or later. At that time, he would be bankrupt, so he deliberately took the last chance to cheat another wave of money. That's right. He is cheating money for the last time. And even if the attributes really increased, will there definitely be no side effects just like the description says? Do you believe it? I'm afraid that when the side effects appear, it will be too late to even regret it. Due to Trudeau's previous popularity, his influence on the crowd was still lingering. Now he took a crazy step in leading the pace. Immediately, countless people fell into deep thought. They might not support Trudeau. But these words were still worth thinking about. The thought process of the World Channel was disrupted. In a private channel, there were a total of 200 people, and they belonged to the same party. Theirs should be one of the largest parties at the moment. There is a rumor on the World Channel that the raw meat might be a scam. Bullshit, I just ate a piece and my attributes have really increased. It's that bastard Trudeau who's messing with the crowd again, isn't it? Previously, he sold the black-striped grass and cheated God knows how much money from us. Sooner or later, we will kill that party. I had a good impression of Trudeau before, but now. Mike is forever a god to me. If only Big Brother Mike was willing to join our party. Trudio is saying in the chat again that maybe the poison won't take effect immediately. I don't care what his bullshot is spewing. No matter how it is, with such a high attribute increase, we should save a bunch first. Ever since I ate the raw meat, my attributes have skyrocketed. I'm willing to be Mike's lackey already. Is Trudio thinking of slandering Mike? That's fine, we'll help him slander as well. Why are we helping Trudio slander Mike? How much of this raw meat do you think there is? Unlimited. Is that even possible? This? Even if there's a limited amount of raw meat, we must snatch it and keep it with us. How much of an advantage would that be? Right. We'll slander Mike, then we'll snatch up all the raw meat. Yes. Slander him. We'll have the raw meat for ourselves. Har har. That's the idea, and not just for this party, a lot of the other big parties also had the same thought. Countless parties made their appearance. In every channel, all the messages were about slandering Mike.